man, nigga, yeah, and what?
Just don't camera. All you have to say
Don't
is
grab nothing. Oh.
Oh, the amazingly timed Mario coin there.
Here we go.
Gee. How's it going, folks? Jack here with another video. So there's an ongoing thing that I like to do on the channel once in a while, a little bit of let's call it self-awareness. In that, I like to joke about the natures of the content that is most prevalent on this channel, react content, because those tend to be low effort, and despite the fact that I tend to edit them a lot and provide a lot of good commentary according to your feedback, it is not the most innovative thing out there. And so in this form of self-awareness, I remind myself that, and even say that sometimes in videos such as this one. It's a nice way of keeping me grounded, in the same fashion that my upload schedule isn't as frequent as I could possibly do. Like, I could upload videos daily, but I don't do that because, well, as much as I like to say that I'm not terminally online, I can sometimes feel as if like my mind is being invaded by memes alone. That being said though, there is another type of content on the internet that I find to be absolutely repulsing. That being prank videos.
Hey, could you do me a favor? I want to be your blueberry for the day. Come on, man, kiss me. Oh, bro, it's a joke.
And in the early age, the infancy of, let's say, just YouTube, prank videos used to be fun. They used to come in different flavors. Some that were very clever, some that were straight up goofy. But to this day, they have evolved to a certain level that can only be deemed as extremely toxic.
A Sprite, large fry, to a Baconator, man. I was homeless myself, so I want to make sure you get on the right path. You know, you're always able to, get back on your feet. So I want you to enjoy this.
And that being especially with the surge of constant online streaming, where you have individuals who have gone out of their way to just do the casual thing of wanting to capture an audience, but simply wanting to do anything possible for views, and not even making the type of pranks that were like unfunny and or scripted. No, we've gone way past the Fousey Tube, the what's his name again? The dude that totally lost his mind.
The main issue is that while on hiatus, Vitaly did a pretty decent job of completely and utterly destroying his reputation.
Oh yeah, Vitaly, we've gone past that. 2023 has just seen the worst characters. Some of them have been lingering around in certain sites like TikTok, Twitch and Kick, but the thing that they do, my god. Like an example, not too far away from here, in the UK, there was that bloke, Vissy or Missy or whatever his name was, who would straight up harass people, break into their homes and pretending that he was part of the family or whatever, just straight up being a douche. He went on the Piers Morgan show to try to, I don't know, explain himself, and pretending of course that all of the negative feedback that he was facing was due to racism. It's prestigious. Yeah, we're off to a good start when I start busting out the French. An even dumber case was that of Tanner Cook, who earlier this year in May, if I remember correctly, was trying to prank a dude and almost got shot to death. Like, and the response from his dad was one of the worst.
Reportedly saying, I was playing a prank and a simple practical joke and this guy didn't take it very well. With the guy that shot him being charged with aggravated malicious wounding, use of a firearm in the commission of a felony, and discharging a firearm within a building. And while Cook is absolutely lucky he's still alive, you were the Washington Post reporting that on Friday, a top prosecutor reviewed the video of the YouTube prankster. And reportedly at that time, they could not rule out charging Cook with a crime. And Cook's father reportedly responding to this news by saying, if you're going to bring charges against my son, go bring charges against TV celebrities and prank show.
Which goes to show that it's not always just the pranksters themselves that do the bad things, but they also get the support from delusional parents. One common denominator with these types of content creators is that they are very perseverant. Despite them getting backlash online, even if they get negative comments, all of that, no, it does not matter until law enforcement steps into the problems, the situations. They will not stop. They are basically like that fly that wakes you up at 3 a.m. and sings the candy shop song in your ears, and you just try to shoo it away, but it just keeps on coming back. They are basically that personified. But hey, For the most part, what they've been doing has remained at home, on their home stuff. Well then, what happens when this gets taken abroad? Well then, we have the example of this jackass. Enter Johnny Somali. You've most likely seen this guy making the rounds around the internet because he's been a menace. But yeah, he finally got arrested. Well, he's been traveling around Japan, but mostly in the Tokyo area, where he will just be blurting out slurs to people, derogatory terms, being straight up racist, and just being a fucking public menace. And it's this absolute abhorrent behavior that, for the few videos that I've seen of the guy, that made me wonder, how is he still there? How is he that the Japanese government, yes, because trust me, the Japanese government do step in to do some of the most ridiculous things sometimes. Like, how did they not step in and remove this guy, deport him? I don't know. But he's been arrested after breaking into a construction site. Well, here it says that it was because he was reportedly breaking into a construction site on the 30th of August. So during a broadcast on Kick, he was being followed by some officers who later on then apprehended him after he went into a convenience store. So what does he say here? According to Senkai News, Somali, whose real name is Ishmael Ramsey, well, I have no qualms about talking about the actual name of a person like this. Investigators arrested him after breaking into a planned construction site of a hotel. While on site, a streamer reportedly was screaming Fukushima. Oh my god. Oh. Are you fucking serious? Really? This is what we're doing? It would be like the equivalent of going to Ukraine right now, in like a store in Kiev, like where Ukrainians are having a very sensitive time and just yelling Chernobyl. Like, what the f? But hey, we have here a video by Mosh Critical who might know a little bit more on the topic, so let's hear.
I know all of you already know this, but I can't stand public nuisance streamers, the absolute degenerate losers who go out into the world and film themselves just harassing random people. Basically, just pathetic worms that go out into the world and treat strangers like NPCs to spit on and use as props for their content. And one of the biggest goofballs in this category of content is named Johnny Somali, and he was just arrested in Japan, which is the most unsurprising news of all time. The only shocking thing about this story is that it hasn't happened sooner. Yeah. Johnny Somali is a name you might have heard a couple of times over the last few months because he has said himself that he will do anything necessary to achieve clout, and the path he's chosen for that is to go to Japan and just harass everyone by spamming racist shit at them and a lot of deplorable garbage. It's a mystery how he hasn't been deported or killed. He actually flirted with death one time on stream not too long ago, actually. Okay. Where he was barking up the wrong tree and was nearly sent to meet his maker.
Yeah, and what?
Just don't camera. All you have to say
don't
is
grab nothing. Oh.
Oh, the amazingly timed Mario coin there. Gee. Look, I'm not one to advocate for public violence, but like sometimes some people need to be knocked down the stupid pedestal. Like, and I'm saying pedestal because he has gone unpunished for just too long.
$3 Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Hiroshima.
Okay, one point that I think that tends not to be acknowledged when it comes to these type of things, we've seen that for red pill content creators and all that, is that the audience that are curating this type of content, right, that are supporting all this, they are part of the fucking problem. Wow, it's nice with the other angle.
Absolutely beautiful haymaker delivered there, complete with like a Viking screech there. Like a primal guttural yell as he delivers the most telegraphed hook I've ever seen in my life. But these two goobers didn't react to it at all. They just ate it like it was a bowl of cereal. And I also love the timing of that donation because it played that Mario coin sound effect, so it actually felt like he had just got the coins beat out of him by this guy.
Yeah.
And I love that we also have another camera angle here to capture the aftermath.
It's
because they
perfect.
tried to play it off like it barely hit them, but you can actually see one of them pooled blood a little bit on the ground because they got knocked out, like briefly. So it's everything about that just felt amazing to watch. It's very hard to root for someone, you know, committing a public assault, but when they're instigating and the entire purpose for them being in Japan is to instigate conflict like this, it's hard not to at least pump your fist and cheer when they finally get what they deserve. And man,
Yeah.
once again, very impressive delivery of this wallop. It was a wombo combo. He blasted both of them. Fucking Johnny Somali watched his friend get clobbered, and then he said, "Excuse me, what about second breakfast? May I have one? I want what he's having." And then he also gets blasted too. Like, he did nothing to prevent it at all. He just sat there and took it. And the camera angle where we can see what happened after they get dropped, and like all of their like belongings are scattered. I guess their fanny pack blew up when they fell over. It actually seems like they got the loot beat out of them in Diablo. Like when you defeat a mob and there's like loot left on the ground. That's what happened.
It's true.
Here. And they
Okay, I
completely
actually
deserved
felt
it.
like
They
that.
started that whole thing. That clapping really sums up this whole situation. When these two goofballs got dropped, everyone who witnessed it clapped. They celebrated.
Yeah.
Like they had just watched their favorite sports team win a big game. They were happy to see them finally get dropped.
And I don't know if it's like, if, well, I've heard anecdotes. I've never been to Japan myself. My dad's been there for work. I have cousins who are the lucky ones, who even bigger weebs than I am, that have been traveling there. So most of what I know Japan related is either anecdotal or through things that I've researched myself because, again, weeb brain. But being confrontational is it's not really that much of a thing. Like, I have a friend who gave me like a fun little statement that has stuck with me about Japanese people, and that may be interpreted as being bad, but it is what it is. He told me that in Japan people are polite but not necessarily nice. In other words, you will always show like decorum with things, which is something that tourists especially always need to do. No matter what country you go to, you're just supposed to be respecting the people there, the rules that are applying and whatever. It's not like some draconian thing. Just be respectful to other people's culture. Simple as that, and just be polite. But like the thing was that in Japan, they will show you kindness, or at least they'll show you politeness, right? They will be polite towards you, but also necessarily kind in that it's something bad may be happening to you in the metro, for example, or the train, and people may not just jump to your rescue, okay? That may not happen because people stay reserved. They keep to themselves. So yeah, actually seeing justice being handled in a way, it's kind of nice to see. So like literally when what you see, like literally like this plot that you tend to see in anime where people are not jumping in to help the poor guy being beat the shit out of. It's true.
Now, I'm not here just to go through memory lane of all of Johnny Somali's worst moments. There's plenty of videos that go over his history on why he's just an absolute degenerate loser. But he has now been arrested, and that's what I want to talk about, because that is a huge W. That is long overdue. So he got arrested because he broke into a construction site on stream, and there's footage of him being arrested because he films everything that happens there because it's all content. And this might actually be the happiest moment of his life because he knows this is another article about to be written about him, which means maybe a couple extra viewers there to point and laugh at him like the clown he is.
Can you imagine if he did this in a... Oh my god. Oh shit. If he did this in the US, boy. Like, I'm pretty certain that he's gonna do the thing here again, trying to pull the race card. But in the US, dude, they wouldn't have cared Not at all. I'm not saying that all cops are racist, but they're definitely profiling, and they would have shot you first. And I know it is very sad for me to be laughing at something like that, but these cops are being very cautious with you.
You can see his eyes light up. He is loving it. Having the handcuffs thrown on him, it's all being captured on stream. This is better than Christmas for him. He got the ultimate gift here. Santa Claus was real nice to him. And he got like a 72-hour ban on Kick, which was lifted because obviously Kick doesn't ban anyone for fucking anything. No. Someone could go on Kick Live right now and execute a man in cold blood, and they'd probably just ban him for 24 hours and be like, well, he's probably learned his lesson.
Yeah. From Aiden Ross to Sneeko and whatever. Yeah, all of those showcasing content to the younger audience, by the way. And yeah, nothing gets done about it.
By now. But anyway, even as Johnny was being arrested, he did not go quietly into the night. He made sure to deliver more high-quality, gut-busting comedy that he's become known for, by mentioning nuclear disasters. Because that's all he fucking says there. He mentions the nuclear bombs during World War II and the Fukushima nuclear power plant disaster.
Yeah.
As jokes. That's the joke he likes to make. He's literally just an edgy bot. There's barely even a brain left in his skull. He's just been programmed to say the most generic, edgy shit that he can muster up in order to jingle keys in front of his pathetic chat that supports him. So, as of right now, there's no new updates on the status of Johnny, whether he's still in custody or if he's even going to be allowed to stay in Japan. Hopefully, he won't be allowed to stay in Japan unless it's staying in a prison, because he's just been terrorizing Japan. And after months of documented evidence of his behavior and the deplorable shit he's done over there, I don't understand why they'd let him stay there with no problem at all. But I guess we'll see. I want to give you a bonus clip though, give you a little dessert here on top of all this, because there's another public nuisance streamer who just found himself in some hot water, with his life flashing before his eyes off of problems that he created for himself.
He's sitting right over fucking there and no one's paying attention. You know why? Because of racism. Yep.
What?
That's not funny.
Funny.
No.
It's very funny.
Why is that funny?
Because I said it's funny.
All right. You, me, Central Park, tomorrow. Don't be late, motherfucker.
What?
Who could have possibly predicted this outcome? Are you trying to tell me a guy like this is a coward? Say it ain't so. I don't believe you. I don't believe
what just happened?
So full disclosure, I don't know who this guy is. It seems like he's just another one of those revolting ooze douchebags that just instigate conflict. But in this case, the person that he's starting all the hoopla with actually just calls him out on it, and he's like, all right, then we'll fucking fight.
Yeah, you fuck around, you're about to find out. Right now.
Or point blank challenges him, tells him to meet him in Central Park tomorrow. Obviously, he's being very vague on purpose because he has no plans of engaging in any kind of pugilistic combat here. And then when the stranger's like, no, why wait? We can just settle it now. Which is such a badass line, and the second he unzips his jacket, you can almost hear the streamer's heart skip a beat. He's getting palpitations, and fight or flight kicks in, and you know he's not fighting, so he just bolts out. I have no doubt that is the fastest he's ever run in his entire life.
Oh, please say that he's still chasing him.
I hope he doesn't chase me, because I don't want to fight him.
What is wrong with people? Oh my god. Okay, look, I'm not here to try and stand for people at all. But for what I have been made aware of and things that were reported, it also affected us here. But like again, this is like 2 years old. There was a lot of hate crime towards Asian people during the pandemic. It's an association that I just made because those two guys were wearing masks. Okay, but I'm just saying it out loud because. Just an intrusive thought. But like, if any of the individuals in the video were to be talking about racism, they would be the one to do that. Like, I don't know the full context of what the hell was going on here, but dude, he really does seem like an instigator. And well, he is. That's basically what he did.
Am I a pussy beta? Perhaps. But I don't know.
I'd legitimately feel bad for him if he wasn't such a scumbag. You can hear the size of realization where he comes to terms with actually just being a fucking loser. He couldn't even cobble together some kind of loose defense of his actions here. He goes, am I a pussy beta? Perhaps, but... I don't know.
I swear to God. Some people leave off of like humiliation. What is driving a human being to feed off of them being consistently wrong? Why?
Like, he's starting to get some self-realization here at the pathetic specimen that he's become. You can also tell from the chat what kind of community he's fostered over there, so not exactly someone to feel really bad for here. The only one to feel bad for is the guy that was being harassed, because he didn't even get the closure of being able to get a few good shots in on this fucking loser. But anyway, I just wanted to share all of this information with you. Great news with Johnny Somali being arrested. Great news with this guy having a very embarrassing clip of him being a coward come out. And yeah, that's really about it. So yeah.
Yeah. Now, while we do not know what is going to be happening to Johnny Dumbass there in Japan, what I believe could be a worse fate for him is actually the fact that he's been arrested. Because to my recollection, when it comes to like arrest laws, people actually don't have the same rights as they do in either the US or Europe when you are jailed. Like, he can stay there for a while. Like here, this is one of the interesting facts that I once learned about Japan. I'm going to highlight it just for... Okay, no, maybe not that part there, but whatever. Yeah, it's so dark. Anyways, it says here that if you are arrested in Japan, even for minor offenses, you may be held in detention without bail for several months or more during the investigation and legal proceedings. So, a list of English-speaking lawyers located throughout Japan are available on the website, blah, blah, blah. And of course, there's a law specific for the EDP type people where US laws do not count over there. Like, basically, he can be trapped there, depending on if they press charges. Can he even muster a single word in Japanese to try to defend himself? If he can't, he may be trapped there for a while. So perhaps actually him being jailed might be the worst punishment that he has faced so far. But we'll see in due time. And here's something, right? I'm not trying to be that guy that I may have been some years ago where I was like holding Japan at a higher standard because I was like having this idealized view of how the country was. It does some bad things, okay? Like this thing right here, like the people who are harassed, right? It would be harder for them to actually have a case for harassment rather than trespassing in Japan. Okay, that's how weird the system tends to be. But when you're traveling to a new place, okay, no matter where, just show the modicum amount of decorum while you are there. It's that simple. That's all you need to do, and don't be a dick. Anyways, guys, this was just a little bit of something that I wanted to share with you guys, and I'd like to know your thoughts. If you have experienced anything of the sort in a different country while traveling, be interesting read for me at least. That said, though, we sure to have a wonderful weekend. See you guys in the next one. Bye.